Welcome to her right, Coach Shelley Kerr, and on the far right, Team Press Officer Michael Lamont. Please turn mobiles to silent. And we are using the remote interpretation app, so please connect to that and press connect if you do get disconnected, but choose your language and you should be all set. Please therefore wait for the microphone before asking a question, and most importantly, please tell us who you are, who you're working for, and the language you'll be asking the question in. That would be very helpful. Thank you very much. And just a little note to photographers, after 5 minutes we'll ask you to kindly leave so that we can carry on without the shutters going off. Thank you very much. So, first question please, at the front.
Hi, it's Chris McLaughlin from BBC Scotland. I'll be speaking in English. Shelley, what or how do you expect this game to differ from England, and what should the expectations be?
I think our expectations are still the same. The target hasn't changed for us. We still want to try and get out the group. It's a different type of game. We're going to face a very competent Japanese team that are technically very good players, proficient, both feet, their movement's incredible. So our game plan changes a little bit in terms of how we combat that.
Japan and Argentina obviously drew 0-0. What do you think that means in terms of your push for progression?
Probably makes our job a little bit more difficult because the dynamic changes for Japan, obviously getting a point. I think there's a perception externally that the expectations was that Japan was going to win, but for us, we know how good Japan are. Just because they only drew against a lower ranked team, we are still in for a tough game. They have some exceptional players and we have to be mindful of that. But it certainly doesn't change the way we approach the game, but perhaps it does for Japan.
The back, please.
Okay. I will ask you in English. Alex Oster from the Japanese broadcaster NHK. Scotland has lost the first game, and if you lose the next game, it could mean the end of the tournament for you. How you will approach?
Thanks.
You will go for the win, or do you think it's better to have a clean sheet and first to be a little bit defend?
I think that we approach every game trying to first and foremost look at performance, and we always try to get a result. I think we've said when we came here that to put things into perspective, we're playing obviously a Japanese team that are ranked 7th in the world. We've just previously played England, who are ranked 3rd in the world. And we are in the pot 3 in our group. And out of all the groups, we're the second bottom pot 3 team. So it's always going to be tough for us. To try and get out the group, we need to win at least one game. So our plan hasn't changed. And to your question, are we going for a win? Of course we are.
Thank you. At the front, please.
Hi, Jane Dougal from BBC as well. This is for Shelley. Shelley, there's a very obvious mentality that the Japanese culture has. Do you feel you've got a bit of an insight into that? Because I know you worked for a Japanese company for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, culturally, the values installed, very efficient, effective, disciplined, organised. It's what we have tried to install in our team, our Scottish team. But yeah, I mean, I've been a huge admirer of the Japanese team for many, many years. You know, you play World Cup winners, runners-up. You know, they're a formidable team, and that shouldn't be lost here just because they drew against Argentina. But I think their values, you can see that carries on to the pitch, and that's why they're so organised and structured on the pitch.
Thank you. Next question. At the front, please.
Hi, Gary Ralston from Daily Record, and I'll be speaking in broad Scots. Rachel, can I ask you, when you look around the locker room, what do you see in your teammates that convinces you guys can get a result tomorrow?
I mean, I've known a lot of the girls for a long time. I think the best way to to sum that up is the second half against England. It would have been very easy to come out in that second half and feel the pressure and almost collapse. There was no way we were going to allow that to happen. Every single player stepped up, and to get back in the game could be crucial for us and could help us to get to the next round.
Thank you. Other question? The front again, please, and then we'll go to the back. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Jane Diggle again, BBC for Rachel. The temperature's a lot cooler here than it was in Nice. Do you feel that that's helped at all? Because obviously the conditions were quite tough on Sunday.
For me, no, I like the heat, so this rain's been terrible. No, obviously, you know, I think the nature of the game was difficult, especially for the amount of running, certainly the midfield and the wide players had to do. And but I think you saw how much we've grown, because at the end of the game, I think we were as strong as England were, and we finished it strongly. And of course, you have to, the conditions play a big factor always. And I think, you know, I think the rain is forecast for tomorrow again, so I think that'll bring its own challenges.
It might be beneficial, though.
Let's hope so.
Squad are used to it.
Okay, thank you. Just ask photographers now if you wouldn't mind just leaving. Thank you very much. And then we'll go to the gentleman at the back when they've left, please. Yes. The back, please. Thank you.
すみません、日本語でよろしくお願いします。NHK の藤川と申します。先日のアルゼンチン、日本対アルゼンチンで、アルゼンチンが非常に守備に力を入れて、日本の得点を阻んでいたような状況がありましたが、そこからそういう状況を参考にして何か作戦を打つなどといったことはありますでしょうか。お願いします。
By watching that match, and then you're going to take on probably?
I think the one thing that we did learn was I don't think you can take anything away from the performance that Argentina put on. I thought they were very compact. They defended very deep, and it worked for them because Japan couldn't find the space that they normally can create by good movement. And the deeper you go towards your own goal, it becomes very, very tough. And they were very resilient defensively, but they were also, Argentina were also a danger on the counter. Have we learned from it? Yes, because you look at other nations playing, and I think it was clear to see that, you know, the defensive discipline helped Argentina get a point. Will it be the same game? No, I don't think that you can always replicate how another nation plays. You have your own style and your own system, and we have to be mindful of that because it's a style and a system that suits our players.
Thank you. Next question. At the front, please.
Steve Clare, Prost International from the USA and Scotland. After the first game where the players were down having lost, but they were kind of picked up by the second half and scoring a goal, was it a bigger challenge to bring them up from the doom of losing the game, or to take them down from just how well they performed in the second half?
I think as a group, the first half, there was about 20 minutes in the first half where, you know, myself and the players, we were all disappointed. In the second half, though, there were so many positives. We addressed things at half-time. We made a few tactical adjustments, which worked for us. That coupled with the fact that England probably took their foot off the gas a little bit. But I think when you finish a game so strongly, you need to have a similar mindset and remember the positive things, and especially tactically what helped us in the second half of the game. So you reflect at this level, you have to critically reflect. We have to critique the players, we have to critique ourselves as coaches, because you never learn from anything if you don't do that. So it's important that we've addressed that, and now it's about thinking of the positives that we had in the second half and taking them into our next game against Japan.
Just a second, please, translation. Okay, thank you.
Rachel, there's a feeling that this is a Japan side in transition. Could there be an argument to say this is a good time to take them on?
I don't think so. I think that they have had a really strong year this year. They were at the She Believes Cup. They played against the top countries in the world. They did exceptionally well, so I think it would be naive to think that tomorrow will be easy. They're one of the best teams in the world. They deserve that recognition. You have to respect that, and we certainly will do that.
Next at the front, please.
Hi, I'll be speaking in English. Jackie Oatley from the host broadcaster. Shelley, Japan and their coaches come under a lot of pressure back home after their result against Argentina. How much can you use that to your advantage, and how much can you use your height advantage to your advantage? Because that's something that she mentioned in her press conference. And then secondly, Rachel, after that, if I could ask you about what you see in terms of your teammates around the dressing room, on the training pitch. A bit of colour, please, if you wouldn't mind, from what it's been like being out here, particularly since that first match.
I'll start with the height difference first. I think that if you look at Kim Little and Erin Cuthbert, there might be a good match there. But yes, certainly, obviously, when teams play against Japan, they're looking to gain a physical advantage in terms of physique. In terms of the coach feeling under pressure, if you're a coach at the World Cup and you've previously won it and you've been runners-up, you're always going to be under pressure. Every coach in this tournament is under pressure. Whether you're the bottom-ranked team or the top-ranked team, that comes with the nature of the job. I think sometimes that can be dangerous. I would agree with Rachel. It's maybe not the best time to play Japan, coming off the back of, obviously, a surprise draw against Argentina. We're mindful of that. I think what we have to do is concentrate on our own game plan and be mindful of the strengths that Japan still pose. I think people are getting carried away with the fact that they've only got a point against Argentina. We are very, very respectful of their status in world football.
Thank you. Any questions? Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, excuse me.
I think when we first arrived here, in Nice, obviously it was a busy place. It was a huge experience for so many of the girls, well, for all of us. And it was great to enjoy that. I think to just be around the hustle and bustle was a lot of fun. It was great to have family and the support there, and the players thoroughly appreciated and enjoyed that. I think it's been good, though, to come here and be outside of a city and have a little bit of tranquility, but also just exclusiveness in the nature of the hotel we're at. It's secluded. We have our own space, our own time. We've regrouped. We've been able to be around one another to help those who perhaps have needed lifted up, and just come together and spend a lot of time as a group. I think we feel really focused, and we've had a great 2 days on the training pitch. I think the players have felt it's been good to get back on the ball, play a little bit more freely within training, and feel we can express ourselves tomorrow a bit more.
Thank you. Lady there, please, first. Lady there. No.
Hi, Molly McElwee from The Telegraph, speaking in English, please. Shelley, just to go back to, you just said it was a surprise result. Obviously, everyone thought it was a surprise result with Argentina and Japan. Can you talk about your personal reaction when you saw the result, when you watched the match, and the reaction of the team if you all watched it together? What were the initial feelings, I guess?
We didn't watch it as a team together, but myself and the coaching staff watched the game, and I could see after 20 minutes it was going to be tough to break down Argentina. Again, I'm repeating myself, but the performance from Argentina was exceptional defensively. I think if you see another defensive performance like that in this tournament, you'll be doing well, because it was really perfection in terms of defensively playing against them. So perhaps the only thing I would say was a surprise was the fact that typically a Japanese team would be able to find the spaces, even small spaces, and they didn't manage to do that. But again, I would give huge credit to Argentina. But of course, like everyone else, I think it was a surprise result.
Thank you. I think the gentleman there wanted a question. Yes?
Hi, Charles from Sky Sports, speaking in English, of course. Shelley, the stats don't lie. When Japan go behind, they don't recover. So the old cliche tomorrow, the first goal looks like it's going to be crucial for you. I mean, do you feel that you can put that pressure, which we've been talking about, on them?
If only football was so easy. No, I think we've got a game plan. I think that, of course, the only stat that matters is goals, for and against. I think we need to concentrate on being better on the ball if we are to create chances, because that's something that we didn't do very well in the England game, especially the first half. We've got the players capable of doing that. And again, as Rachel said, we've worked really well in the training pitch the last couple of days to try and put in place a game plan that we think can be successful against Japan.
Thank you. Any other questions? Oh, yes, just lady there, please.
Kelly Summers from BBC Sport for Shelley. Shelley, 6.1 million people watched the game on Sunday. Having watched the tournament as a whole and been involved in it, how impressed have you been, not only with the tournament, but the kind of all the talk and everyone, the fact that everyone back home is watching?
I think it's fantastic. I think, it's up 4 million, especially the Scotland-England game, an increase of 4 million spectators. It's wonderful for the women's game. It's incredible. We're having a fantastic time. It's our first World Cup. We don't want it to be an isolated case. We want Scottish teams to be competing on the world stage and the European stage on a regular basis. To do that, we need to be successful. So again, it's been a great experience, but it can be even better if you win games.
Can I quickly ask it from a player's point of view as well, the support back home and what it's been like being here and being involved? You've been here for just over a week now.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think, and I've said this before, but as players, and certainly within our group of players, we work really hard to try and raise the profile of the game. And we're always pushing to set new standards, create different boundaries. And I think it's just been really special to actually enjoy the reception and the support, because, we do spend a lot of time doing the other part of the job, and it's just been really nice to appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I think that's, no more questions, in which case I'd like to thank Shelley and Rachel for your time today. Thank you. For the media, there's no familiarisation today, but the media centre is still open, of course. You're welcome to go there. And just reminds for me to say good luck for tomorrow's game, and thank you very much. Thank you.